The 1988 Jefferson nickel with the P Mint mark struck at the Philadelphia Mint is generally considered a modern coin and often overlooked by casual collectors. But what most people don't know is that some of these nickels hold a staggering value today, up to $25,000, depending on specific features and condition. While the majority of Jefferson nickels from 1988 are common, there exists a small population of rare examples that have defied the odds, emerging as highly sought-after treasures in the numismatic market. So what makes this seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors, including minting errors, strike quality, unusual varieties, and superb preservation. First, let's look at the basic design of the 1988 Jefferson nickel. On the obverse or front, we find the iconic left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. His classical and calm expression has graced the nickel since 1938, making it one of the most enduring portraits in U.S. coinage history. The word liberty appears inscribed to Jefferson's right, followed by the year 1988 and a small P mint mark, denoting the coin's Philadelphia origin. On the reverse of the coin is the image of Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, with inscriptions reading E pluribus unum Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. In a circulated state, a 1988 P Jefferson nickel is typically worth face value, just 5 cents. However, when you dive into the world of rare varieties and mint state examples, the story becomes far more compelling. Among collectors, coins in mint state 67 and above, graded by prestigious services like PCG's Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company, are valued for their exceptional strike, lack of contact marks, and strong luster. But the real stars of the show are the rare errors and varieties that were accidentally created during the minting process. These are the coins that can command astonishing prices, such as $25,000 or more. One of the most valuable versions of the 1988 P Jefferson nickel is the one that features a major die error, such as a double die obverse DDO or a full brockage strike. These types of errors occur during the striking phase at the mint and are extremely rare. A double die obverse occurs when the die that strikes the coin is engraved with a doubled image, causing details like Liberty, the date, or even Jefferson's I to appear duplicated under magnification. A full brockage, on the other hand, happens when a previously struck coin becomes stuck in the press and impresses its reversed image onto the next blank planchette, creating an eerie mirror image on one side of the coin. Examples of such dramatic errors, especially if well centered and struck on clean, undamaged planchettes, are prized by error collectors and can easily breach the $10,000 to $25,000 range, depending on eye appeal and market demand. In addition to error coins, there is a growing premium for full steps FS nickels, those that display 5 or 6 sharply struck steps on the front of Monticello. The full steps designation is difficult to achieve on Jefferson nickels, especially from the 1980s, a period known for weak strikes and worn dies. For the 1988 P nickel, full steps coins in MS67 or MS68 condition are exceedingly rare, with only a handful of examples known to exist. A 1988 P with full steps and a perfect or nearly perfect strike is considered a condition rarity and can fetch up to $25,000 at auction, particularly if it's a top population coin, meaning no other examples are graded higher. Market dynamics also play a crucial role in the value of these coins. As collectors search for the best of the best, competition intensifies for coins that are not only rare in mintage, but also flawless in condition. Many 1988 P nickels were released into circulation and endured heavy wear, leaving few pristine examples for collectors today. The result is that when a high-grade uncirculated coin is discovered, especially one with either full steps or a known error, it can spark bidding wars at top auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stacks, Bowers, or online platforms like Great. Some sales of top-tier 1988 P Jefferson nickels have surprised even seasoned numismatists, with hammer prices exceeding pre-sale estimates by thousands of dollars. Due to their exceptional rarity and quality. Another factor that contributes to the coin's value is its low survival rate in high grades. Even though millions of 1988 P nickels were minted, over 655 million, to be precise, only a tiny fraction survive in mint condition today. The harsh conditions of everyday circulation, poor storage practices, and the general apathy to modern nickels at the time have made gem examples incredibly scarce. PCGS and NGC population reports confirm this, showing that while hundreds of submissions have occurred, only a select few have reached the coveted MS67 full steps grade or higher. These coins stand as elite examples of modern numismatics and hold great appeal to collectors who seek completeness and rarity. Even more astonishing is the fact that some of these valuable examples could still be hiding in everyday pocket change. Yes, it's entirely possible that a pristine 1988 P Jefferson nickel with a rare error or full steps designation could be sitting unnoticed in a coin jar, drawer, or coin roll. This is what drives the excitement in the numismatic community, the thrill of the hunt. Coin roll hunters Collectors, and even curious newcomers are encouraged to keep an eye out for this specific coin, especially if it appears to have unusual features or an unusually sharp reverse design. A simple magnifier or loupe can help reveal doubling, steps on Monticello or off-center strikes, all signs that you might be holding a high-value specimen. When buying or selling such coins, it is highly recommended to get them professionally graded and authenticated. Coins certified by PCGS or NGC not only have their value cemented but also attract serious buyers. For a 1988 P. Jefferson nickel to reach the $25,000 mark, it must be authenticated as a rare variety or error and must be in pristine, mint state condition, ideally with high aesthetic appeal and rarity within the grading population. Uncertified coins, no matter how good they look, will rarely command the same premium unless authenticated and preserved properly. In conclusion, the 1988 P. Jefferson nickel is a fascinating example of how a seemingly modern and common coin can hold incredible value due to rare varieties, mint errors, and exceptional condition. With the right combination of full steps designation, high mint state grade, or a dramatic error, this coin can transform from an ordinary 5-cent piece into a $25,000 treasure. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the coins jingling in your pocket, take a second look, because this hidden gem could still be out there, waiting to be discovered. The world. Next up, the 1971 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint, is a coin that many collectors once considered too modern to be worth more than a few cents. But today, select examples of this coin, especially those in pristine condition or featuring rare errors, are commanding market values of up to $5,000, proving that even everyday pocket change can sometimes hold unexpected treasure. While most 1971D nickels are common and circulated, a very small number have emerged as rare and valuable collector's pieces due to their extraordinary quality, unusual minting characteristics, or combination of both. The Jefferson nickel, a series which began in 1938, is often overlooked by newer collectors. But seasoned numismatists know that within certain date and mint combinations, like the 1971D, lie coins that are incredibly difficult to find in top condition. The obverse of this coin features the enduring image of President Thomas Jefferson, facing left, designed by Felix Schlag, with the word Liberty in the date 1971 inscribed along with a small D mint mark, indicating its origin at the Denver facility. The reverse bears the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, along with inscriptions that read E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. But as with many coins, value isn't just about what's on the surface, it's about the rarity, the details, and the perfection with which a coin was struck and preserved over time. Now, with over 315 million 1971D nickels produced, it might seem almost impossible that any could be worth thousands of dollars. And yet, numismatics is full of such paradoxes. Coins with massive mintages can still become rare if the conditions are just right. The key to understanding the high value of some 1971D nickels lies in two major factors: minting errors and exceptional condition, especially those with the elusive full steps designation. When a Jefferson nickel is struck perfectly, the steps on Monticello on the reverse are clear, well-defined, and uninterrupted. This is referred to as a full steps strike, and it is a mark of both rarity and desirability. For the 1971D issue, full steps examples are extremely scarce, because most coins were struck with worn dies, resulting in soft details and incomplete steps. It is the presence of these full steps, along with a mint state grade of MS65 or higher, that catapult an otherwise average nickel into the higher tiers of collectability and value. In fact, PCGS and NGC population reports show that very few 1971D nickels qualify for the full steps designation in high grades, making these coins condition rarities in the series. As collectors chase registry sets, collections of coins in the highest known grades, demand for these coins has grown, pushing prices to the $1,000 to $5,000 range, and even higher in some cases. But condition is just one side of the story. Another path to value lies in minting errors, and the 1971D nickel is no exception. Errors that occurred during the minting process, such as double die obverse DDO, double die reverse DDR, off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, and die caps, can transform an ordinary coin into a highly valuable and unique specimen. Double die errors, for example, happen when the die used to strike the coin was improperly manufactured, resulting in noticeable doubling on the coin's design, often seen in the lettering or Jefferson's profile. These coins are difficult to find, but when discovered in combination with a high mint state and clear strike, they become very desirable in the eyes of collectors. Likewise, off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned in the crescent, appears misaligned or partially blank, are dramatic and visually impressive errors that collectors love to chase. Each of these error types can add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the value of a 1971D nickel, and if one of these error coins is also preserved in a high mint state grade, it could easily reach or exceed the $5,000 threshold. It's also important to recognize the impact of grading on coin value. A raw 1971D nickel, meaning ungraded and unspecified, is almost never going to command high value unless it clearly exhibits an obvious error. However, coins that are professionally graded by agencies like PCG's Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company, especially those that achieve MS65, MS66 or higher with the full steps designation, are the ones that dominate auction sales and private dealer transactions. Grading ensures that the coin is authentic, confirms its condition, and often gives it a numerical population standing, meaning collectors know exactly how many similar coins exist at that grade level. If your 1971D nickel is among the finest, known, let's say MS66 with full steps and no known equals, it could become a target for competitive buyers aiming to complete top-ranked Jefferson nickel sets. Such examples have fetched several $1,000s at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collectors, often with enthusiastic bidding from collectors who know just how rare these coins truly are. One of the most exciting elements of the 1971D nickel story is the possibility that valuable examples might still be hiding in plain sight. Because this is a modern coin that saw extensive circulation, there's a real chance that high-grade or error examples could still be discovered in old bankrolls, coin jars, estate collections, or even in pocket change. The thrill of finding a rare nickel that looks ordinary to most but holds a significant market value is part of what keeps collectors motivated and hopeful. For those serious about identifying high-value 1971D nickels, a magnifying glass or coin loop is essential. Check for full steps on Monticello. You should see 5 or 6 complete lines at the base, with no breaks. Examine the coin for doubling, strike quality, luster, and contact marks. And if anything looks promising, it's worth submitting the coin for grading. Even a small investment in professional certification could result in a major return, if your coin is among the rare few. Additionally, it's worth noting that the Jefferson nickel series is gaining popularity, with more collectors turning their attention to modern series and condition rarities. As demand increases, so does the value of top-grade coins. This means that a 1971D nickel that might have been ignored a decade ago could be a hot commodity. Today, with the supply of high-grade full steps examples incredibly limited, prices are expected to continue rising over time, making now a strategic time to hunt, collect, and invest in such pieces. Many coin experts agree that modern nickel issues with low populations and superior preservation have strong long-term investment potential, especially as more collectors build competitive registry sets. In conclusion, the 1971D Jefferson nickel, often dismissed as just another modern-era coin, is a true example of hidden value in numismatics. While most examples are worth face value, a small number stand out due to minting errors, unusual characteristics, or exceptionally high grades with full steps, pushing their value to $5,000 or more. Whether it's a perfectly struck coin with pristine luster and full details, or a dramatic mint error that captures attention, the rarest examples from this mintage continue to generate interest and strong prices. Collectors, hobbyists, and investors alike are keeping their eyes open, knowing that the next $5,000 nickel could be just a magnifying glass away. So, don't underestimate that 1971D nickel. It might not just be 5 cents. It might be your lucky day. Next up, the 1941 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, stands today as an overlooked treasure from the early years of American modern coinage. While at first glance it might appear to be just another ordinary 5-cent piece that has long circulated through countless hands, the reality is that under the right conditions, this coin has reached market values as high as $5,000. Making it an exceptional example of how age, rarity, condition, and historical context can elevate the value of even a humble nickel, minted just as the United States stood on the brink of full-scale entry into World War II. The 1941 nickel is more than just pocket change. It's a historical artifact from a critical moment in American history. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel series was introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel and has remained in production, with design modifications, ever since. On the obverse of the 1941 issue is a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, accompanied by the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1941. The reverse showcases Jefferson's Monticello home in classic, neoclassical style, with E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America encircling it. The absence of a mint mark under Monticello confirms that the coin was struck in Philadelphia, the main U.S. minting facility at the time and the only one not using mint marks before 1980. Though over 203 million of these coins were minted. What makes the 1941 no-mint mark nickel so valuable today isn't just how many were made, but how few have survived in flawless investment-grade condition. Most 1941 Jefferson nickels from Philadelphia entered circulation quickly and were used heavily, resulting in worn surfaces, dulled features, and contact marks that ruin their long-term numismatic potential. Only a small number were set aside in mint rolls, bank vaults, or private collections, and it is these rare, untouched coins that today command the attention of serious collectors. The most significant factor determining this coin's value is its state of preservation, particularly those that qualify for a full steps FS designation, a classification that demands near-perfect striking quality and crisp definition on the reverse steps of Monticello. A Jefferson nickel must exhibit at least 5 full, uninterrupted steps to receive this label, though coins with 6 complete steps are rarer still and even more valuable. For the 1941 Philadelphia issue, this is an extremely difficult achievement. The mint often used worn dies during this era, and strike pressure was inconsistent, meaning the fine detail of Monticello's steps was rarely impressed with clarity. As a result, high-grade 1941 nickels with full steps in MS66 or MS67 condition are among the rarest and most sought after in the entire Jefferson series, and that's precisely what can push values up to or beyond the $5,000 mark at auction. Full steps and high mint state grading. Minting errors and die varieties are other key drivers of value in the 1941 Jefferson nickel. One of the most famous and valuable varieties from this year is the doubled die reverse DDR, an error where elements of the reverse design, such as Monticello or E pluribus unum, appear doubled under magnification. These doubling errors were caused by misalignments during the die engraving process and are highly collectible, especially when clearly visible to the naked eye or under low magnification. Another variety includes clashed dies, where parts of the obverse design are faintly visible on the reverse due to the dies striking each other without a planchette in between. Other notable errors include off-center strikes, die breaks, lamination peels, and struck-through grease errors, all of which can make a standard 1941 nickel significantly more valuable, particularly if the coin also remains in an uncirculated, problem-free state. Combine any of these anomalies with a full steps designation and a top mint state grade like MS67, and it's easy to see how values can climb into the thousands, with some known specimens reaching $5,000 or higher in well-documented sales. Professional coin grading plays an essential role in verifying and protecting these rare high-value examples. Coins certified by top-tier agencies like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company carry much greater weight in the collector market, especially when they receive designations like Full Steps FS or are labeled with specific error varieties. According to population reports, fewer than a dozen 1941 Philadelphia nickels exist in MS67 FS condition, with none higher. These coins represent the absolute best-known survivors of a coin that was otherwise considered common, and when such rarity is backed by official certification, it becomes a magnet for registry collectors looking to complete their Jefferson sets with top population examples. In fact, the registry market, where collectors compete to build the finest sets by grade and completeness, has become one of the strongest drivers of modern coin prices. Coins like the 1941 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, in alt grade and with perfect strikes, can draw intense bidding wars and investment-level interest from collectors worldwide. One fascinating aspect of the 1941 nickel is how few people realize its value potential, meaning many high-grade examples may still exist, undiscovered. This makes it a prime target for coin roll hunters, estate sale browsers, and casual collectors combing through forgotten family collections or dealer bins. Because it predates the start of wartime silver nickels 1942 to 1945, the 1941 issue retains a traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy and has no silver content, which leads many to mistakenly believe it has no significant collector value. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. It's precisely because of its base metal composition and massive circulation that finding a pristine example today is so difficult and so rewarding. The market continues to prove that coins which survive in uncirculated condition, with original luster, minimal contact marks, and full steps designation, can become 5-figure assets. Just one example, certified by PCGS as MS67Fs with attractive toning and strong eye appeal, can easily reach the $5,000 range in today's market, especially if it holds a unique population position or is part of a historic registry collection. Auction houses have documented these prices repeatedly. Prestigious numismatic firms such as Heritage Auctions, Stax, Bowers, and Great Collections have all handled premium 1941 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels with MS66, MS67 full steps grades, often setting record prices for the series. Sales records show steady increases in recent years, reflecting a rising demand for high-end Jefferson nickels among collectors who once focused primarily on silver or gold coinage. As modern coinage gains appreciation and scholarship within the numismatic community, coins like the 1941 Philadelphia nickel, long overlooked, are now receiving the attention and premium valuations they rightfully deserve. In conclusion, the 1941 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark proves that rarity isn't always about low mintage, it's about survival, condition, and demand. While hundreds of millions were struck, Only a few examples exist today in the pristine state required to earn top grades and full steps designations. Add in the possibility of mint errors, dramatic varieties, or early die states, and you have a coin with real historical and investment significance. Whether discovered in a forgotten coin roll, inherited in a dusty collection, or hunted down with the help of grading reports and auction listings, this unassuming 5-cent coin has the potential to be worth up to $5,000 or more, making it one of the most exciting and surprising discoveries in the Jefferson nickel series. Collectors would do well to revisit their 1941 nickels with a fresh perspective, because sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones hiding in plain sight.